All right. Goofs.
I'm talking goofs.
Everybody.
But it's about Goofy. It's about Goofy's family. Hello and welcome to Good Enough. I am Sam, joined as always by Robbie.
Yeah, what's up?
And Matt,
I'm also here.
Matt, who is cursed by a gypsy. He's got to have... You gotta quit with the hiccups, my good man.
It's not a personal choice.
Okay, but you have to understand how.
I know, I
every
get
time
that.
the mic starts.
Every time I press
them.
record,
It's because right before we record, we're always laughing, and I get the hiccups from laughing.
The laugh ups.
a gypsy went up to Matt and like gently touched his face and was like, hiccups.
I feel like we've done this joke before.
Probably because you
'cause
fucking
you're always
hiccup constantly.
hiccuping.
because you're hiccup constantly. You ride in your hiccup truck.
Yeah, your hiccup truck. He like slaps the bed of it. This bad boy can hold so many hiccups.
He's like, this bad boy can fit so many askew diaphragms.
I really I need to get it figured out why, like what I do wrong when I'm laughing.
You just have a diaphragm that's
Yeah, you're just sucking in too much air.
yeah. Like you've got them
Just sucking
them
too
pipes.
hard, bro.
I need to like change the way I laugh.
Yeah, you just
got
like
those robust air pipes.
just stop sucking on those pipes so hard.
Yeah, do you think you're funny?
Yes,
Do you think that's funny?
I do. Hey, if you can't make yourself laugh, then you'll be even
Then
more
get out the kitchen.
you'll be even more depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't argue with that.
Oh man.
Guys, 'tis the holiday season.
Yeah.
Dickory dock. Don't forget to hang up your sock. You know, that classic.
Yeah, the classic rhyme.
And now that it's the holiday season, it is
Movie time.
it's time to stay indoors and away from the cold and snuggle up and watch some good old movies.
Good old
So is it just
movie.
holidays for you all year?
Because I work from home, is that I'm not sitting at home
I know.
watching movies all day.
It's like drinking hot cocoa.
It's just all,
Wrapped in a
it's,
I'm just like
blanket.
I'm just like
July.
constantly like fucking nauseous because all I drink is hot chocolate. I don't drink any water.
it's July 14th and Sam's like with the fireplace going, a fucking blanket and hot chocolate.
So cozy in here.
Just sweating like a
It's
maniac.
115 outside.
He's all dehydrated.
This hot chocolate really hits the spot.
Ooh, this hot chocolate
I'm
really doesn't quench any thirst.
I'm watching Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
3, the Santa Claus.
Sheila's favorite Christmas movie is the first Santa Claus.
I like that movie a lot.
I like the movie like conceptually, but like there were no consequences. He killed a man.
Yeah.
Didn't face any
What do
consequences.
you mean? The consequences were he now has to become this guy who
There's
does
3
this.
movies of consequences.
But like he gets to the North Pole and no one's like, oh hey murderer. Everyone's just like, oh hi, you're
Well,
Santa
it
now.
sounds like that's what's been happening
Yeah,
for
that's-
hundreds of years.
How many Santas did they go through?
Who knows? How many were as clumsy as the one that slipped off his roof?
And like you're right because like he just said, "Oh hi, who's this up on my roof?" and then he slipped.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
That
whoa.
cannot be the only instance
Yeah.
where like someone spoke to him. Is
What
he
if
just
that
that
was,
jumpy?
Like how many Santa Clauses are just filled with existential dread
What
for
if-
murdering somebody?
Yeah, like every one of them. Does that mean every Santa was murdered? Every single one?
At least died.
anyone-
I mean, he wasn't murdered. He slipped off a roof
But why did Tim Allen become a Santa Claus then?
because I don't
He
know.
was responsible.
He was there. He was.
It's like what if
It was
one-
on his property.
So what if a Santa kills himself?
He stood his ground.
Then his
like
suit
the
goes
gun
to
manufacturer becomes Santa Claus.
Smith and Wesson becomes Santa Claus.
It's two people.
Fucking oh, I pictured a red revolver. I pictured a red revolver falling down my chimney.
I really do have like a lot of good memories around that movie. Like my grandma would take me out of school every Christmas when it came out, and she would take me to go see it. It's like I have good memories of seeing those.
Would they
movies.
replay it on Christmas or just new
Like
ones?
when the new one came out
okay.
every year.
I was like, is that like a
No,
Rocky
they
Horror?
had-
Is that like a Rocky Horror Picture Show? Like
they
they
always-
show it at midnight on Christmas?
No,
No,
every
like when
year, every year his grandma would like plan a day to watch the Santa Claus, and it was always at like 11:30 a.m. Like she would watch the Santa Claus on the same day every year, and she came and got you out of school.
But no, like I just have good memories. Like she'd pick me up, take me, we'd go see it, and it was just a fun time.
My grandma's house is still the place where you go to watch Disney movies. Like there is like a bookshelf, and it's top to bottom just all VHS Disney VHS tapes. I can't imagine the Disney vault looks any different than the back corner room of my grandmother's house with that bookshelf.
I have a weird Christmas memory where we went and visited an old friend out of town, and I like spent the entire weekend just in the basement watching like Return of the Jedi, and like I was the only kid there, but that's all
Like it was an old family friend.
yeah, and I just like stayed in their basement and watched like the movie. I watched like 4 times over the weekend.
Were your parents anywhere to be found?
Yeah, they're probably having fun.
Yeah, they were upstairs doing whatever, doing holiday stuff.
The Christmas movies, the one Christmas I remember, all my family was over, and we had a double feature of Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood.
Those classic Christmas flicks.
Yeah, I was probably like 12.
They're making a Bad Boys 3
Yep.
with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
I mean, you can't make a Bad Boys movie without them.
and I'm 100% on board.
Oh, I am.
Unless it was Jaden Smith and whoever, if Martin Lawrence has a kid, like I don't care if it's a baby, just team them up. The
baby?
chemistry has to be amazing.
Is Jaden Smith carrying a baby?
Would you watch a Bad Boys with Kevin Hart and The Rock?
No,
Yeah, you would.
Fuck.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
good-
You wouldn't have to call it Bad Boys though. Like they could hold their own.
That's a really tough question. Like,
Because did you guys watch the CIA one?
No.
Because that is
I haven't watched any of their movies.
hilarious. Like the CIA one is. I mean, I got so much flack from my family for how much I was championing this movie. I thought it was hilarious.
isn't The Rock a fat guy at the beginning?
Yeah.
That's funny because he's not fat in real life. You see, they took The Rock, a well-known buff man, and then made him into a fat
well-known
man.
buff man.
Yeah.
He's a well-known Buffman.
Well,
Yeah.
his cousin, well-known Buffman.
But yeah, that movie is good, and they're a good combo. Like literally, just because it's the dynamic I feel that Jaden Smith and Martin Lawrence's baby would have. One carries the other, and it's hilarious.
Like as an actor or legitimately carries
Like
them.
physically carrying him.
Both. Why do you think Twins was a smash success?
Yeah, when they had,
Arnold Schwarzenegger carried around Danny DeVito.
and
I
also
think-
Danny DeVito was a baby in that movie.
They're gonna make a sequel to that.
Little known fact, like Danny DeVito was a baby in that movie, and they just CG'd him to make him look older.
Was Danny DeVito also in the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger's pregnant?
Junior?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
I
in that
have never
movie.
seen that movie before.
You've never seen Junior?
No.
It is.
It's worth watching if all,
Is
like
this
if
like the Tyrannosaurus movie all over
No.
again?
Theodore Rex.
Kinda.
Don't get us started.
In the sense that Arnold Schwarzenegger, a giant dinosaur man, is fucking pregnant.
Another well-known Buffman.
Yep.
So I posted on my social media the other day that I think Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars. A comment I stand by. But someone responded to it by saying Fast and Furious is better than both.
I mean, I gotta agree with this.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to put that as a public statement, but
I mean, all we need now is just like a big battle scene in in a Fast and the Furious movie where both sides are
Well, I
coming
feel like
at each other.
I feel like they're building to it, like because they said there's gonna be 10, right? And the next one is 9.
Yeah. Well, if The Rock and Vin can figure out their beef.
I know it's just like just make oregano beef.
Yeah, it'll boost your Deadeye.
Yeah.
The Rock.
Huh?
The Rock. I was talking to The
He was
Rock.
talking to him.
Oh, sorry.
Idiot.
His first name is the. Fuck, I've lost track of what we were talking about.
The movies are building towards.
Oh yeah. So like, there's no way it doesn't end with like a Civil War, like Marvel Civil War esque like fight.
It's going to be a race wars. It's going to be fantastic, Fast and Furious race war.
So like the Team The Rock versus Team The Vin Diesel, and
And they have a giant drag race.
yeah, but they're gonna like be fist fighting on top of the moving cars.
Oh man, jumping from car to car.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
It's going to be Mario Kart
Mario Kart.
The Rock will do a rock bottom.
on a car.
Do you remember when The Rock was in the hospital for 2 years?
Here we are talking about Fast and
What are
Furious
the
again.
which we haven't done in a very long time?
Yeah,
I need my fix.
What are the what are the odds that the Roman numeral 10, like just the X, will be incorporated in the 10th title?
What if they like cross over with Triple X?
What if they cross over with FX the channel?
What if they cross over with porn because Trip XXX?
It is essentially already softcore gay porn. There are far more sweaty men in those movies.
I'm looking
true.
at the naming conventions for the last several movies. There's Fast 5. There's Fast and Furious 6, right? But there was what was 7? Just
Furious.
of the Furious?
No, that was the
Or
last
Fate
one.
of the Furious?
That was the last one.
That was Fast
Furious 7, and then Fate of the Furious.
and Fate is
Because there's Fate
and
8.
number 8. What's 9? For 9? For 9 and Furious.
They either have to add some cast members so they have 9, or yeah, because
I mean, there's probably 9 people in the family.
The family. One moment, please.
more time.
Do you think, like, realistically, they could take on the Avengers?
Oh yeah,
Like, with cars? Like,
they
right?
fight a tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen.
They fought a nuclear sub.
I've seen Captain America bleed. I've yet to see any of them bleed.
That's very true.
So yeah, I don't think it'd even be close.
Like, there's...
I've seen Thanos bleed, and I've yet to see fucking
Thanos
Vin
killed
Diesel.
half the universe. You're right.
Do you think any of the family was killed during all that?
No, they're fucking immune to it. Like,
They're immune to the
There's
the
no
Infinity
way.
Gauntlet.
They're like in the ether. They're not even in this dimension.
They felt it coming and
live
slipped
in-
into a parallel dimension. They're like, oh shit.
Like
They live
grab
in-
the Corona. We got to go.
grab the buckets of Corona.
Grabbed the Corona and then they slipped into a pocket dimension.
Grab the bucket of Corona with the Corona written on the side of
Vin
it.
Diesel's arm just comes out of
Yeah.
the portal hole, just drags the barbecue in.
I was gonna say it's like Indiana Jones and his hat. They go into the pocket dimension and grab the Corona just as it's closing. And then they all pray and eat whatever meat that they're grilling at the time.
Oh man.
What? So I mean,
Fast 9.
Fast 9. Talking about movies, like we're nearing the end of the year. What are some of the best movies you've seen this year? It doesn't necessarily have to be like movies that came out this year, but
Yeah, mine is a movie that came out this year, and it still is the surprise hit of the year for me. I ignored Rampage when it came out in theaters, and it wasn't until maybe last month, 3 weeks ago, that it was like on sale to rent for like $2 or something on PlayStation. I was like, whatever, I'll check it out. It is a masterpiece. It is a shining example of taking a video game that has no meat on its
No
bones,
story.
that has nothing, and making a legitimately entertaining, like like a legitimately entertaining movie.
I have to agree. It was fantastic.
I still haven't watched it, and I was gonna watch it in preparation for the episode today, but we moved recording up a day, and I didn't have time.
It is the only mistake in my mind they made was killing off what's his face early in the movie.
Joe Mangiello.
Joe
Mangiello.
Joe Mangiello. He was killed off.
This is Jello's new mascot.
He was killed off like in like
He had 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, like first like 20 minutes he was killed off, but in those like 2 minutes he had on screen, like I was so ready to see him fight The Rock.
Oh yeah,
like The Rock, a freaking muscle-bound monster,
A well-known Buffman.
conservationist.
What?
Going against Joe Manganiello, like this buffed out monster, scar across the eye,
Both well-known Buffman.
milky eye, like the classic bad guy look. And I was like, oh, I'm so ready for them to go at it. Like this is a solid like protagonist, antagonist guy. Then he was eaten by a fucking
I
giant
didn't
wolf.
understand like why even cast him in that role.
Yeah.
Like I was like he was literally on screen for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, and like he had like
then he's dead.
2 or 3 like badass moment moves and
Yeah.
like poses coming out of a helicopter, and then like he gets eaten by a wolf, and I was like super upset by it. But aside from that, that movie is flawless. Like if you're looking for entertainment,
But maybe they did that on purpose because he's not the real enemy. The monsters are.
well, I mean, no, okay, so they did 2 things wrong.
My favorite part is that
Because-
The Rock was ex-special forces / apologist.
Yeah, he's a fucking
Do they use the term apologist?
I think it's apologist, isn't it?
yeah,
Or it's
primatologist.
primatologist.
Interesting.
They said like it's called primatology, but they call him an apologist. But I'm telling you, Sam, like it's so worth seeing. Like
I believe you.
And another thing,
You've been
like,
very enthusiastic
I
about
saw
it.
it after we saw the Meg, which we've all seen. Both rated PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
The deaths in Rampage are
Insurmountable.
top notch.
Yeah.
Like, you know when we talk about Fast and the Furious and we're like 1,000 people must have died dragging that safe through the city.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, when the city is destroyed, you see
Yep.
people jumping, falling out of destroyed buildings to
my
their
God.
death,
Getting eaten,
like grabbed out of the sky.
Because
and eaten.
in so many different like action movies and stuff where a city gets destroyed, it's almost as if like the city has been like deserted.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, this
this
is not
one,
like
no,
that.
it is raining
Or
bodies.
like the Meg, you have a giant prehistoric beast, and it kills like 6 people the entire movie.
Yeah, and the climax of that movie takes place on a crowded beach in China.
Yeah, and like this one, like you'll see like a giant alligator, like he like eats that boat, right?
Yeah.
like he eats a tour boat full of people.
Oh my
like
God.
just goes like alligatoring right through it. No, but like it did everything right. Like aside from the Joe Manganiello stuff, and that's only because like when you see them, you're like, oh, that is a good like that seems like a good fight. But other than that, like that movie was incredible. I recommend everybody watch it. It's so good. Like from a game that has nothing, like you destroyed a city as monsters.
Oh, just, like why? At what point? Like, why bother making it based on the video game though?
Well, it's just like they made Battleship into a movie.
right? Why?
But they
But
do.
my problem is like Battleship. I get. Well, I don't get because it was fucking garbage. But like Battleship is like well known and has like the pop culture influence. Where like if you made a movie, people would recognize it. I feel like Rampage doesn't have that. It doesn't enjoy like that kind of like
Right.
pop culture saturation. Like
yeah, no.
that classic I mean, it is a classic game, but I just don't feel like Rampage is.
But like and like where like Battleship, like everyone, like I can't imagine anyone has not played Battleship at one point in their life.
Right.
And like Rampage is like an arcade only machine. Like it was only oh no, I guess it was on.
It was on console.
I played it on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it was on Sega. I forgot. But still, like you're right. But it was so good.
Yeah, it was
Like
very good.
it was so good.
Maybe
So
I'll
much
I'll watch
fun.
it tonight,
It's so much fun.
just in time to record this podcast.
yeah.
One of my favorite movies this year was another Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson film.
Ooh, was it?
Jumanji? Oh wait, did that come out
was
this year?
like 2 years ago. Or no, that was last Christmas.
They're making a second one of those.
Well-known
Buffman.
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper.
Oh man,
Build me up, tear me down
it is a special film.
Skyscraper.
like a skyscraper.
It's a special movie.
I mean, all of the Rock's movies are special.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like everyone knows he's Dwayne Johnson, but we continue to call him The Rock. And like he doesn't even go by The Rock in his movies anymore. He just goes by Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, but he,
It's like
He's The Rock.
But it's like collectively audiences are like, no, you're The Rock.
The Rock. Get that out of I mean, I feel like they do the same thing when they see Chris Bridges. They're like,
yeah.
shut up,
You're not.
Ludacris.
Yeah, you're not Chris Bridges.
Shut up, Luda.
Quit using your pseudonym, Chris.
Pseudonym.
Your real name is Ludacris. Also in Fast and Furious. Skyscraper.
Oh, dude, it's bonkers.
What branch of the military was he in this one?
Is he special forces?
He is he's special forces for like a police force. He's a hostage negotiator.
Makes sense.
But like special forces hostage negotiator.
Special
forces
Special,
hostage
like the
negotiator?
term special forces doesn't even have meaning
Like,
anymore.
he-
That means nothing.
He's a hostage negotiator, but in the very beginning of the film, he's walking into a hostage situation in full tactical gear with a full team, and then is negotiating with the guy. The story behind
Are they
him
like-
losing his leg.
Are they like, oh, here, I'll give you my Charizard if you give me your blue eyes white dragon? Negotiating for trade.
like two different games there?
That was the joke.
But the story behind him losing his leg, holy crap!
Intense.
It's dark.
Because the lights are off.
Yeah.
It was dark. The lights
That's
were
how
off,
he
and
lost his leg. It was in a dark room.
he tripped. He tripped, and his leg fell off.
No, like he walked through a dark room and came out, and his leg was gone. It's like, what the hell?
But it was like a prosthetic leg.
But like this movie is Die Hard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Die Hard if the entire building was on fire.
Oh, so it's
Like the Towering
Inferno.
It's the Towering Inferno and Die Hard.
Is it as
And I
good?
loved
Is
it.
it as good as those movies?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But
Was it entertaining?
yeah, I loved it. The bad guy is like a stereotypical, basically 80s villain.
Matt, can we talk about
You're talking about Die Hard and the Towering Inferno.
The
Was it Alan Rickman?
the
Oh, he died.
they give so many like
yeah,
there's
when he
parts
fell off
in the,
Nagasaki Tower?
there's parts in like the first 20 minutes of the movie where it's like they'll show something. It's like, well, that's going to come into play later in the movie. Like they show this room that. So the whole thing is this new gigantic building that's being built, and at the very top of it, there's this orb that when you go inside of it,
Orb.
Yes, Sam, you successfully
there's an
said what Matt
orb,
did.
and they walk inside the orb. The rock, and the guy that built the building, and the orb is
What's his name, Bob?
Bob. It's Orb Bob.
the orb has monitors on the inside and the outside, so they can be turned on to reflect the outside world. So like you're standing in the sky, basically. And then all those turn off and monitors come up from the floor, and it basically turns the entire room into a funhouse mirror. And like where you don't know where he is, and it's like, if that does not come into play when he's fighting the bad guy, and guess what?
Did that like the climax?
The very the biggest scene between him and the villain uses the mirrors. It's so good.
How many mirrors does he run through? But man, I wanna talk about, because I remember when you watched this movie, and you do things that like seem insane to me, which is
Start a movie at 2
start
o'clock
a
in the morning.
movie at fucking 1:45 in the morning. I'm like, how do you do
Yeah,
that?
to be fair, like you do work nights, but like still,
And you do it a lot. Well, I mean, not like every day, but like I noticed, like you don't have a problem starting movies
No.
at 1:30 in the morning.
Most of the movies that I've watched like in the last year I started like 1 or 2 in the morning.
well, I like if someone wants to start a movie at like 8:30, I'm like,
I'm like, oh,
that's gonna go way past my bedtime.
Same. I think of that too. Like after,
That means, I'm not gonna be in bed till like 11.
yeah,
like,
I'd say like after if the movie's not over by midnight, like I won't even start it just because like I'll fall asleep or I won't pay attention. You know, like
It's different though. Like I'm not getting home till 11:30.
no, yeah, no.
so-
Like we said,
It
we
makes
get
sense
it,
with their schedule.
but it's just like
You've
how
got
do you do? Like how do you stay awake?
You've got that youthful energies.
Because even if I had like I was awake, if I started watching a movie that late, like it would lull me into sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've been watching. I don't know if I want to tell you this, but I've been watching Bob Ross to go to sleep lately. Like on Twitch, you can find like
do worse.
the marathon. It's like
Like I've been watching
Porn.
Japanese torture porn.
Oh,
I
boy.
see how that would be similar.
It
yeah,
does not help me get to sleep. But I'm going to try it out for another 3 weeks. See if
Oh my god!
see if there's like a grace period of 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Because I've been doing this for a while.
Oh my god!
But yeah, what else was I gonna? There's something else I wanted to bring up.
Talking about like watching movies, the worst is when I get like I'll be laying in bed at like 2 a.m. Be like, I'm gonna watch Inception.
Like a 3-hour movie.
Oh, that's another thing.
Like that
if
thought
it's
has gone through my head. Like I started watching The Wolf of Wall Street at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, you couldn't have finished before 6.
It was like 5:45 when
like,
it was
oh my
over,
God.
and then I went to bed. But like I'll be laying there and I'm like have you ever seen those memes where like it's like you'll have like the weird like you'll be on the dance floor and think, where's my birth certificate? Like I have like weird thoughts. I'll be like that. I'm like, I haven't watched Inception in 6 months.
Gotta get your
So what time is it? 5:30? Yeah, I got 3 hours to kill.
your parents are leaving for work and you're just like watching the end of Dark
You're
Knight
just
Rises.
watching fucking Jonah Hill pull his dick out.
Yeah, that was a weird part in Inception.
It was in someone's dream though, so you know they were dreaming about Jonah Hill's dick.
Mm.
Okay, well, you want to take a quick break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go skateboard.
All right, sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna bust a sick 50-50 grind.
All right, well let's go see how that goes, and we'll report back after this short break. Welcome back to Good Enough. We went and watched Robbie do some skateboarding tricks.
It was very funny for us.
It is now 4 hours later because we had to go to the hospital.
And I have a cast because I broke my ankle.
Robbie, you are not good at skateboarding.
I'm not.
No.
It's
That
even more.
50-50 grind looked good for like a few seconds.
You had, yeah, good for, I'm
and then
impressed.
your ankle like went into the rail and just
I was impressed you were
I
able to like
remember.
ollie up onto the rail. I remember. You were able to ollie up onto the rail, which is good.
Yeah, you know.
Ollie up.
Orb! Orb!
Wait, I don't have a word to shout out now. Now I need one.
You could say ollie. Oh wait, no, that was Matt. That was just now.
Well, I'm glad you have dedication to the podcast. We come back and finish it.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, good enough.
But like I was saying, do you think Ryan Reynolds is still trying to make up?
Rhino Reynolds. He's
Ryan Reynolds' Bob.
Rhino. Say his alter ego, who is also a Spider-Man villain.
Do you think Ryan Reynolds is still trying to make up for the Green Lantern by giving us 2 great Deadpool movies and now becoming Detective Pikachu?
He's really found his stride in the last several years. I do like Deadpool had a lot to do with it.
I've always loved Ryan Reynolds.
Me too.
So I mean, I was indifferent to Ryan Reynolds, I guess.
Van Wilder was one of my favorite movies when I was younger.
I always liked his charisma.
Yeah.
I remember watching Van Wilder and stuff as a teen and being like semen, dog
That
semen.
dog's semen was eaten.
They made other people eat dog jizz, and how they weren't arrested, I don't know.
For real. Like that's
all
gotta
the
should have
stuff,
gone-
all the stuff he did should have got them arrested.
Jesus,
at the very least questioned.
Jesus.
Can we stop?
That might be sacrilegious.
Yeah, I've always liked Ryan Reynolds though.
Yeah,
He's being typecasted now as himself.
as
I was gonna say,
Pikachu.
it's like as awesome like pop culture characters.
Well,
that,
just as like a goofy, sarcastic person.
But like he's always been
I know,
that.
yeah.
And that's like, yeah,
He's always
like,
except in Green Lantern when he explicitly was not that,
Yeah.
and that was part of why that movie was
for
such
real.
garbage.
Even the engagement, or what was the one he did with
like that
Julia
movie.
Roberts? No, that's what I'm saying. Like even in that one, like he was funny
Yeah.
and like charismatic and stuff.
Definitely Maybe. Have you guys seen that one with Abigail Breslin? It's one of my favorite movies. It's him telling the story of how he met her mother.
How long is it?
Like hour and a half.
I'll start it tonight at 3:30.
Oh, God damn it. Good joke. I was about to get there. But yeah, Detective Pikachu, guys.
Insane.
So this is, I mean, it's quite possibly like the craziest like movie trailer I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
Like,
because over the last like year and a half since it's been like rumored, like everyone's said like
no.
yeah, okay,
It's not gonna happen.
Especially early this year when The Rock, Mark Wahlberg, and Ryan Reynolds were the three that were fighting it out. We're like,
Well, wait, you remember
what?
for a while when the rumors first started, everyone wanted Danny DeVito as Detective Pikachu.
Did I send you the trailer? The cut,
The Danny
DeVito
DeVito?
trailer.
No, but I've seen it.
It's
Somebody cut.
always sunny dialogue in the Pikachu trailer.
That's funny.
It's really funny.
And so, I mean,
Danny DeVito.
If you would have asked me before Monday how excited I am for Detective Pikachu, I would have said 0.
well, I just like
Even
didn't.
though that response makes no sense to that question.
I'm 0 excited.
I'm 0. Oh,
It's me.
okay.
It's me. 0 excited. No.
Orb.
Hey, you owe me $5.
How excited are you about Detective Pikachu?
Orb. No, it's if you had asked me before Monday if this movie existed, I would have been like, no, it's just a goof, it's just a joke. Then they released the trailer and like, guys, what the fuck?
I'm hyped.
Like, why does it look good?
So
Does it?
the internet,
Or are we just
no. Well, you know what though? Like, this could just be millennials like excited about Pokemon.
like oh my god, Charizard has textured skin?
Yeah.
Like I was like, what?
The Pokemon all looked really cool.
So-
Greninja looked terrifying.
Greninjas are cool, but like Mr. Mime, I don't know about that. I don't know about that guy. But like the internet reaction has been fucking like hilarious, and people are split because there's people who are like, this looks like a fucking travesty because the way the Pokemon are designed, and they're comparing it to like Super Mario Brothers, that movie.
Not even close
no.
though.
You don't think so?
No.
What do you mean?
Well, don't ask me.
Have you not seen
I'm not
what are the Goombas in like
They're like crocodiles.
yeah, it's like a mix between a crocodile and the guys in the waiting room in Beetlejuice.
So I'm just like I don't agree. I'm on the side of this movie. It looks good, but like there's people who are saying like, oh, now you'll know how it feels to have like your childhood
Destroyed.
with a terrible movie.
I don't know.
It looks. I know it was just a 2-minute trailer, but it looks funny.
It looks funny. I love the design of the Pokemon.
Me too.
I love how they look.
Me too.
I like them with fur. I like them with like scales. I like their textures and
different
stuff.
textures and like
Yeah.
Charizard looked freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's my favorite. Like, you guys know that. Like, you don't know how excited I was. And then I don't know if you saw the post on Imager, but someone posted all the props, like all the puppets and the props.
Yeah.
They look incredible.
Yeah, they're super detailed.
Yeah, like-
if there's not a Growlithe in this movie, though, I'm gonna be pissed.
There's got to be like a legendary and like.
Oh, but I want like.
You know, there's going to be like Pokemon Easter eggs all over the
Well,
place.
IGN did a story like all the Pokemon that were in the trailer, and I didn't even notice a lot of them. There were a couple like legendaries that like just popped up, but I want Growlithe. What's cool is there was like a mix of like Pokemon from all the different generations. It wasn't just Gen 1 Pokemon.
I didn't like the way Psyduck looked. He was kind of creepy.
Yeah, he was a little creepy, but like he's kind of supposed to be
Yeah.
like a little off, right?
And you got to imagine, like, that's hard. Like, where do you, like, how vibrant and cartoony do you keep them, bringing them into a live action?
Yeah, that could not have been an easy balance.
Because it was initially a little distracting, but like 30 seconds in, like as soon as Pikachu started talking, I'm like, like whatever. Like it's like it's a movie. You're gonna let stuff fly.
Yeah.
Let stuff slide, and like that to me was the only thing initially. I was like, oh man, that's super. Like they kind of looked too cartoony, but
I got over that pretty quick.
Yeah,
I
same.
love. I love how furry like Pikachu is.
Yeah.
I want to give that guy a hug. I want to hug that guy.
When I first saw it, the first question I had was like, why aren't they just making like a Pokemon trainer movie? But then I was like, I get it, because I feel like too this movie is going to meet to a much broader mass of people. Where if you were to make a Pokemon trainer movie, it has the chance of being mega cheesy.
Well,
and also like how like why I'm sure they're gonna incorporate some Pokemon training aspect.
Well, sure, and
like clearly like the dude's dad was a Pokemon trainer and
he had aspirations to be
and
Pokemon.
he
Pokemon
has
trainer.
like the connection, like which I'm assuming is being able to understand these Pokemon. So like that, my favorite thing is like all of this had to have come just from that Pikachu that wears that detective hat, that Sherlock Holmes style hat, right?
Well, it's a video game.
It's a DS game, Detective Pikachu. But it kind of, I'm torn. And like you said, Matt, like why did they settle on this to make a movie? Because there's like something like 20 some odd Pokemon movies. They could have turned any one of those into
So a live action
movie. Maybe it's because like they're trying to avoid like the we enslave Pokemon thing, maybe? Is that?
And if you had a Pokemon trainer movie and Ryan Reynolds voiced Pikachu, it would be really weird. But you make Pikachu a detective and have Ryan Reynolds voice him. It's like, all right, I can get behind that.
I didn't see any Pokeballs in the trailer, like any Pokemon coming out of Pokeballs.
They were all the Pokemon. Well, it said where
they're
Pokemon
at the
and
city.
people
in Rhyme City.
live in harmony.
Do you think we'll see?
It's like Dinotopia.
Do you think we're gonna see Team Rocket?
Oh,
Because I really want to.
How do you not? Like there are very many bad guys in the Pokemon universe, so
that's interesting.
I can't imagine
I hope
Team Rocket.
I hope they do
the
the rhyme. I hope they do the whole.
Meowth has got to be in this movie.
Oh man, I hope so. The point is though, like I'm 100% on board with this movie.
Yeah.
Like totally. It looks so good. And I don't understand. I mean, I guess I kind of understand, but like the negative reaction to me like doesn't make sense.
There's always going to be negative reaction.
It's the internet.
You're not going to get away from that.
Like
say they did recreate like the Ash's original journey, like that. That's I feel like would be way more of a minefield than
absolutely,
a new quote unquote property like
because there's not a base to look at. Like people aren't going to look at this and compare it to something.
That's
if you
true.
make a Pokemon trainer movie, they're going to compare it to all of the source material and rip it apart. Mm-hmm. This is its own thing.
You know what's funny? Do you remember all the hullabaloo when the last Pokemon movie came out, which was like a remake of like the first
one.
arc? And then at the end of that movie, Pikachu talks.
Yeah.
Right?
And everyone
freaked the fuck out. Because Pikachu, like, he goes, why won't you go in your Pokeball? And then Pikachu says,
it's because I love you.
I don't want to be away from you.
Yeah.
And I remember, that's one of my all-time favorite internet videos, just because like
for the theater
people freaking like, what the fuck is this? And now we have a Ryan Reynolds voice Pikachu. Why is that all right?
That's what I'm saying. Like it has to be Ryan Reynolds. Like Ryan Reynolds,
he has charisma.
At the very least, he's like a 33% reason why people are okay with the people who are okay with it and excited about it.
Yeah,
33% of that is because of Ryan Reynolds. If
this movie would have come out 3 years ago, like pre Deadpool, it'd be different. I think.
Oh yeah, I don't even think Ryan Reynolds would be in talks. Even be considered.
He has a charisma. Like if it was Mark Wahlberg as Pikachu
with his Boston accent,
I would hate it.
I don't know. Because hearing either Mark Wahlberg or The Rock's voice coming out of
if you're throwing The Rock into this equation,
well, those are the three that were in talks. Those were the three that were like down to the wire. It was those three. So like that's what I'm saying. Like
The Rock, I'd still be okay with whatever this is.
Yes, like Like, I would love to hear his voice coming out of that tiny little animal.
Can I ask you a hypothetical?
Yo.
What kind of Pokemon would each member of the family be? The Fast and Furious family?
Well, I feel like The Rock would be.
The Rock and Vin Diesel would have to be The Rock would have to be like Monchop.
Machamp. Yeah.
I can't think of what's the big rock snake.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
There was Gollum.
No, the one that Brock.
Oh, Onyx.
Onyx. Yeah, like one of them would have to be an Onyx.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, The Rock would be Onyx, and Vin Diesel would be Machop, like the second evolution, not the one with 4 arms, Machamp.
yeah.
Machoke is the middle one. He'd be like a Machoke because Vin Diesel's short, you know.
Yeah, and he's buff.
Yeah. Or like Hitmonlee. What about what would Paul Walker have been?
Paul Walker would have been.
Whichever one wears a hoodie.
No, I was gonna think Growlithe. Like I feel like
Growlithe is my favorite.
I feel like that's like a honorable and like
Arcanine, yeah.
Ninetales.
Something like that can be scrappy if they want to be scrappy, but like not outwardly threatening. But they can throw down if they need to. Like, Meowth would be maybe, or like Growlithe is a good choice, or maybe like I don't want to say Jigglypuff because
no one in the family would be a Jigglypuff.
I mean maybe oh shit, what's his name? Roman. What the fuck is that guy?
Oh,
Tyrese. Yeah. He'd be Jigglypuff. Right? Matt, before we stop recording, can you maybe make a picture that is Pokemon or Jigglypuff with Tyrese's face?
Yeah, I can probably put something together.
Cool, thanks. Thanks, man.
just making Tyrese's head with the little curl, the little pink curl.
What happened to the villain at the end of 8? God damn it! What the hell's her name? I can't remember anyone's names. Oh,
something.
ooh, are you saying she would be Ekans?
Yeah, she's a snake.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Ekans is snake backwards?
What?
And its evolution, Arbok, is cobra backwards?
Oh my god!
Bet you didn't know.
Man, those guys are
Cypher.
Yeah, what would she have been?
Oh, I feel like she'd be her own Pokemon, a dread-headed Pokemon. What's that fox-looking one?
Ninetales, like Matt said.
No. It stands on its hind legs. It's in Smash Brothers.
Oh.
I can't think of its name though.
Well, so there's Braxian, which is a fighting fire-type Pokemon from Sun Moon or X and Y. God damn it, I'm getting my Pokemon gens all mixed up, everyone. That's a good one. Yeah, I see that. Or maybe a
Mew. A Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
I could see that.
Here's Mewtwo, yeah.
Do you think any of them would be Magmar? Which one is Charizard? Which one's Charizard? Because I feel like there's got to be a Charizard. Han? I mean, Robbie's crying.
Oh, what's her face would have to be like, what's that big white bird one, the legendary that looks like I can't think, it's like a water or like an ocean Pokemon or something. I don't know. It's like a big white, looks like a bird with a dragon's head.
I don't know.
That's what I picture Giselle's character as, like just the most beautiful Pokemon in existence.
Lucario.
Oh, that's the thing. That's it. Yeah.
Or Lucario?
Yeah. That's Cypher.
That's who Cypher would be.
Cypher.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about
No.
Gal Gadot. Okay, well.
Gal Gadot's Pokemon would be Wonder Woman.
So the point is Detective Pikachu looks bomb. I don't know, like, it's crazy that
That trailer came out the
exists.
same day as the teaser for Toy Story 4, and I'm more excited for Detective Pikachu.
It's funny because, like, the Detective Pikachu is so bonkers that like nobody's talking about Toy Story 4.
Which is insane because it's Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4, and that teaser had a fucking sentient spork in it.
Yeah, having an
No
existential...
one's talking about...
I feel like everyone is talking about the spork having an existential crisis.
It's just overshadowed by Detective Pikachu, though. That's crazy.
It's already been that meme.
Also, that the existence of that spork alone, it raises so many questions.
He has everything that's ever made
Like
alive.
To a toy, like,
Are children God? Are children gods?
they're creating life.
Like there's no way those toys are not going to have like an existential crisis, and they're just going to like their brains are going to break. What constitutes a toy, and like who's deciding what gives them life?
I guess
Who's giving them life?
I guess that's what Toy Story 4
Orb.
is going to answer.
It's the orb. I don't. Do you guys want a Toy Story 4?
No.
I didn't, but after hearing what Tom Hanks and Tim Allen have said about it, I'm excited.
I mean, they said that they would only do a 4 if they had a story worthwhile to tell. But like they've said that about so many different franchises.
No, but I'm saying they both said filming the last scene. Well, Tim Allen said he cried filming the last scene, and Tom Hanks said he almost cried and said it was beautiful filmmaking.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's going to be a good,
sure
or that it could be a good movie. But prior to this, like, I had no need for a 4.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Is
Yeah, and I agree with
3 though.
So the 3
at the time, I don't think I wanted a 3.
Yeah,
But
same.
after seeing it, which could be the same deal here,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, it was good. But like,
3
but again,
the
the
ending
way
to 3
3
was
ended,
fucking
yeah,
beautiful,
like
and like it was
that's a good ending for
Yeah.
that's a good ending for a franchise to end on. I feel
Definitely.
like.
especially a franchise like Toy Story, where like toys are passed down from generation to generation, and like you know, they're as valuable as the kids who play with them are or see them as, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, what can you say about toys after that? And now we're getting sentient sporks. I'm sure it's going to be good. And
Yeah,
like,
again,
I
like-
don't doubt the filmmakers, and I don't doubt the writers, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
this-
it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, the stories that come out of there, now this one will be shit. Like,
Yeah.
There's no way.
No,
yeah.
no one's thinking that. I'm just saying, like, prior to this, like, I didn't have a need for
Right,
it because
right.
I thought 3 was a great ending, like to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Going off to college, toys being handed down.
I did cry at the end of 3.
Yeah.
Jesus God.
Stop trying to make us cry, Pixar. What the fuck, eh?
Stop it. Pixar, if you're listening to this.
Remember that post I sent you? It was like Bugs Life, like bugs have feelings.
What if bugs had feelings? What if toys had feelings?
And then
What if feelings,
feelings had feelings?
and then Coco, it's like, what if Mexicans
had
had feelings?
God. Inside Out is another one that got me. I cried at the end of that one.
That's a good one.
I cried at the movie short before Inside Out.
Is that the
Which
one
one
with
was
the
that?
bird?
No, the one with the volcano.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful too.
The volcano falls in love with another volcano,
And then
think
the
I
volcano
remember that one.
sinks.
and it's a really good song.
My favorite is the.
Matt's crying now.
My favorite's the little bird on the beach being taken out by the waves.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that about wraps it up. We've hit the end of the show. I do want to talk about though Game Club for a sec. Keep voting on those polls. We got 4 good choices, I think.
Are we really going to be running this poll for the
No.
next 3 weeks?
No, I mean, I think by the time this hits, we'll probably.
We have. I say let's decide now.
What?
I say we figure out. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
On the next episode.
Yeah. The next episode we'll get started on the next Game Club.
Okay.
But yeah, as of while we're recording this, the polls are not closed. The voting hasn't been closed, and it looks like Dream Daddy is going to be it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any surprise there.
Yeah.
Until Dawn is getting some late votes.
Until Dawn. So, how do you guys? It's weird because the more I've been following the polls and the voting and stuff, the more I'm pulling for Until Dawn because I've got this weird like Beyond Two Souls like shaped hole in my heart where I'm like, I fucking hated that game, but I kind of miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I miss.
no, but
I've heard nothing but positive things about Until Dawn.
yeah, and Until Dawn does have different variations to be
That actually matter.
Yeah,
like every
yeah.
decision you make in the game actually matters.
And like we would all have such different experiences. We could talk about it, and it
Yeah.
would be good discussion. I keep pulling for Until Dawn just because like it fills that gap. You know what I mean?
Let Dream Daddy fill the gap.
Yeah, I'm
Fill the
Yeah, let
hole
some
in you.
daddy fill the hole in you.
yeah, it will. Like I'm sure it will, but I'm just saying like it's just
I think we'll
it's like a
eventually-
perfect puzzle piece to fill
I
that.
eventually want to play all 4 of these games because I think all 4 of them have their own merits.
Yeah, and I honestly don't think like just putting up the Madden game cover like tells what that would be
Right.
like, because
Yeah.
Right.
that would be much different than any other game.
Right.
Just because we'd all be involved in the same
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I think eventually we'll play all 4 of these games, but it does.
And I
look
found
like
out
Dream
in that
Daddy.
one, like, if we wanted, because I don't know if we want a full 16 season game, but you could decide how many teams and stuff. So
Yeah,
it
definitely.
doesn't have to be as crazy as a
Right.
actual season.
Also worth talking about here at the end. Next episode is 100.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We haven't even been talking about it, but next is 100.
It's going to be the 100th extravaganza.
Episode 100 extravaganza. So yeah, I mean,
Part 1.
I guess to anyone who's been listening to us, thanks.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
I didn't think we'd make it this far.
No, me either, because I hate both of you. But
Listen, on the Thanksgiving episode, I believe you said you're thankful for your best friends.
Yeah, you're
Matt
you're
and
thankful
Robbie.
for the-
only because you give me a sounding board to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. That's the only
That's
reason.
true. We forgot about that.
Yeah, because I don't leave the house, which means I don't really get a chance to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 like I would like at work or something
You
like
get a
that.
chance to talk to people.
Yeah. So like, I'm thankful for you.
What are the dogs not playing Red Dead Redemption?
No, they're playing.
They're waiting for Sam to finish.
They're playing Nintendogs.
Ooh.
Dub.
We've been good enough.
And yeah, we're gonna just call it quits before 100 here.
Yeah, so 100. That's
crazy.
December 3rd. Yep.
Got to figure out what we're gonna do for that shit.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We will be back next week with episode 100,
Holy moly.
right in the middle of the holiday season. So we'll see what we have in store.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Bye bye.